Good morning, Folsom High School. I want to congratulate the following students who completed SERV projects this year and turned in their final reflection papers. Violet Anderson, Teacher's Aide. Cameron Ball, Teacher's Aide. Bailey Brown, Middle School PE Teacher's Aide. Donna Duvetter, Migrant School and Religious Education Preschool Helper. Allison Dotson, Elementary Teacher's Aide. Jason Henninger, Teacher's Aide. Talia Hernandez, Migrant School. Summer Koverick, Assisted Living Volunteer. Reagan McDermott, Special Ed Preschool Assistant. Mason McKee, Youth Swim Coach. Zachary Peck, Elementary Teacher's Aide. Josie Salloway, Youth Tennis Coach. Ben Seeley, Preschool Assistant. Brooklyn Sloniker, Migrant School. Kendall Straub, Middle School Teacher's Aide. Ellie Tile, Veterinary Clinic Assistant. And Scout Wenzel, Middle School Teacher's Aide. Congratulations to these awesome students who helped to make their community a better place. Thank you.
Hi, this is Mrs. Duvetter, and I want to take this opportunity to recognize a couple of my math students for their outstanding performance during online classes. My first one goes to Cadence Irvin. She was most dedicated in Algebra 1, showing up for almost all the Google Meets or arranging another time to meet with me if she could not. My second one goes to Caden Blix. He was really dedicated to get his work done and show up for Google Meets and work out any questions he had with me. So I just want to shout out to those two students for taking the extra effort during this last quarter.
This is John Peterson. I'd like to welcome you to the Polson High School Science Department Awards for 2020. As a token of appreciation for our students this year, the Polson High School Science Department spared no expense, producing the largest, most awe-inspiring virtual trophy ever awarded in the history of mankind. Let's take a look at it. Look at that. It's slightly larger than the planet Jupiter. That's how remarkable this award is. We wanted to make it impressive because, frankly, it's virtual. It doesn't really exist, but if it did, that's how big it would be. On to the awards. For my classes, in chemistry, I selected Bella Ferrier. Bella consistently performed at a high level in chemistry, and she always had a smile on her face. I appreciated her talent and attitude. In general physics, I picked Reagan McDermott. Reagan was the hardest working student in class this year. She had to really tough it out sometimes, but she gave it her all. Her effort was tremendous, and she is highly deserving of this award. And in AP Physics, there were several I could have picked, but I selected Josie Salloway. Josie committed herself to excellence throughout the entire school year. I think she'll excel in college because of her focus and diligence. And I also want to say thanks to Josie because she was my student aide this year. Thanks for you guys. Did a great job in my classes, Bella, Reagan, and Josie. On to Mr. Sitter's classes. First of all, Earth Science. He had 3 selections. First of all, John David. He has a consistent zeal not only for gaining knowledge, but understanding what that knowledge meant to him. He also selected Alana Amons. Her passion for science extended well beyond the confines of the classroom, and the roots are fixed deep. Thanks for sharing. And Hakila Riggs. She possesses a compulsion for precision and knowing. She was 100% mentally present and ready. Those are the Earth Science recipients. In Astronomy 1, Mr. Sitter selected two students. Megan Speckert. She is like a great white shark in a feeding frenzy for knowledge. She can be overzealous, but ultimately she wants to understand richly about astronomy. She even works to meld other science topics into that understanding. I can back up Mr. Sitter on all of that. I had Megan in AP Physics. She is a great white shark in a feeding frenzy for knowledge. That's a good way of putting it. The other recipient is Gage Freiberger. It says, Gage is subtle, like a Navy SEAL subtle about his learning. That doesn't sound very subtle to me. When you probe him, you will see the depth at which he is thinking, synthesizing, and drawing from multiple outside sources to better grasp the topic. Those are your astronomy winners. In environmental science, we have 2 recipients. Talia Hernandez. She is supremely dialed in and relishes not only learning, but is motivated to explain deeply and clearly her thoughts. Her attitude is infectious and her love for the material clear. It says, "Thanks, Mom." We also have Jaslyn Dalby. She is serious and reflective on what concepts land in front of her. She takes nothing at face value and also possesses a natural desire for things scientific. It also again says, "Thanks, Mom." Then we move on to Mr. Quinn's classes. Mr. Quinn, first of all, in biology. Oh, Mr. Quinn had to remind us of the coronavirus. Thank you, Mr. Quinn, for letting us see those darn things. All right, in biology, we have Shalom Walker. Shalom was dependable, always in school and never missed an assignment. Again, we have Jazz Dalby, and we also have Ethan McCauley and Liz Tolley. They were prepared, came to class ready to learn, they had great attitudes, and were hardworking with smiles on their faces. Also, Hallie Henninger, Ryan Dupuy, and River Schmidt-Eder. They were dedicated. These 3 have a thirst to understand and gain knowledge. Hallie is always prepared and turns in meticulous work. No one outworks River or is more thorough with their notes. And he says, "I have never taught anyone who knows as much about biology as Ryan." That's pretty impressive because Mr. Quinn's been teaching biology for decades and decades. Now we're moving on to his zoology classes. That is not a picture of Mr. Quinn. I believe that's a baby gorilla, but I teach physics, so what do I know? He had 2 winners, Sean Stewart and Bridger Smith. Says they had a great attitude and work ethic. They were not afraid to get their hands dirty, mostly because they were already dirty. That's not hard to believe. Bridger even lost a shoe in a mud hole up to his hip. They had great collections and were always willing to help out. There's some mud on some boots. Finally, Mr. Quinn's anatomy and physiology winners. We have a picture of a horse and some orange juice. What's this all about? Well, it has something to do with the winners, Hallie Tyler and Michael Smith. It says, once the horses were fed and the go juice was drunk, these 2 were ready to learn. They were hard workers with great attitudes. These 2 most often had the highest scores in class, and I guess that's why they won. Good work, everybody. Lastly, we're going to move on to Mr. Dunn's biology classes. He has 3 winners. First of all, Savannah Bissinger was quiet and thoughtful. Savannah knows that the richest world and best experimental environment is the one inside your head. Another winner was Vincent Comstock. He embraces the festina lente approach to science, and his unflappable demeanor was welcome in the chaos of a busy lab. Also, Bronson Henriksen. He brought an enthusiasm for learning to everything he did. He understands the joy in working to be a better human being. That's pretty impressive. Good work, biology winners, for Mr. Dunn. Then we move on to his earth science classes. 2 winners here. First of all, Tia Mercer. She is not satisfied to not know or understand a topic. This drives her to seek answers and wisdom. She possesses the true hallmarks of a good scientist. Also, Christian Ruther. He craves a deep understanding of the natural world. This has given him a rich appreciation for the greater universe around him. And last but not least, forensic science. This year's winner is Caitlin Lamfair. Her intuition in crime solving kept her several steps ahead of the game consistently throughout the class. You could see the wheels turning as each piece of insignificant evidence added to the puzzle. Clearly, she relished in the process. And those are your award winners for science in the year 2020, a year we will all remember.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Don Toth, PHS Activities Director. I'm here to announce this year's 12 season award recipients, followed by our head softball coach and our head basketball coach presenting the awards for the top female and male athlete of the year. So for the PHS 12 season award this year for 2019-20, this award, before I present the first recipient, I want to explain that the 12 season award is very coveted and difficult to obtain. The individuals have to obviously participate in all 12 seasons, which would be all 4 years of high school, 3 seasons. Again, so every quarter that the students are engaged in school, they're also working in athletics and participating in and/or activities, like as a manager, for instance. And obviously very difficult and therefore very coveted to get this award. This year's only female athlete receiving this award is Shaylee Brown. Shaylee participated as a freshman in volleyball, also participated in the wintertime as wrestling manager and in track. She did the same thing in her sophomore year, repeated those same events. And then in her junior year, she was in volleyball, also a wrestling manager, but then switched to softball. And her senior year, she served as the football manager, also wrestling manager, and then in softball as well. She got signed up for softball. Great job, Shaylee Brown. And for the boys, we have 3 candidates. The first award recipient is senior Connor Lanier. And Connor had, during his freshman year, he participated in both soccer, basketball, and track. Okay, and he did so the same thing his sophomore year, soccer, basketball, track. In his junior year, he ended up playing some football and soccer, and then also with basketball and track following up. And he did the same thing his senior year. Did a little kicking for the football team, but also participated in soccer and played basketball and also track. Great job, Connor. Hey, our next recipient is senior Trevor Schultz. Trevor participated all 4 years in the same 3 sports, which is unique. And he participated in football, basketball, and tennis. Again, all 3 seasons, all 4 years. Outstanding, Trevor. Our last recipient this year is senior Bo Kelly. And Bo was a recipient for participating in football, basketball, and track, and did so all 3 years. And again, I can't express enough how much gratitude we have for athletes that do participate in all of these activities for that much time and devote that much time to us. We appreciate everything you guys have done. Okay? At this point, I'm going to turn it over to head softball coach Jamie Hansen. Again, he'll be followed up by head basketball coach Randy Kelly for our male and female athlete of the year awards.
It is with great honor and privilege that I announce the Polson High School female athlete of the 2019-2020 school year. This female athlete is among the top of her graduating class in many ways, not just athletics, but also academics, community service, volunteering in school activities, peer tutoring, and many others. This female athlete has chosen to live her life through dedication, desire, and determination. She has proven that sports, school, and her strong belief is a successful equation for a fulfilling life. Her all-in attitude has helped her along the way and has given her success with many endeavors that have come her way. She played 4 years of volleyball, 4 years of softball, and 1 year of basketball while going to Polson High School. She has proven to be a worthy teammate and a leader amongst her team. I had the privilege of coaching her for 2 years in softball at the Polson High School, but have known her as a person for many years. This young lady is so deserving of this honor, and I could not be more proud to present the 2019-2020 Polson Female Athlete of the Year to Grace Quiones. Congratulations, Grace, and the best of luck.
Students and staff, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2020 male senior athlete. This year's senior athlete has been involved in football, basketball, and track throughout his high school career. He's worked hard. He had an ACL injury as January of his sophomore year. It set him back a little bit. I know how much time he put in the weight room. He was selected to the East-West Shrine game as an alternate this year, and he was also almost mentioned as a basketball player on our team this year that went to state. It is my pleasure to announce Bo Kelly as this year's male senior athlete. Good job, Bo.